Well, I'm not sure if it's a good morning, but it's a morning. Today we're working on this 13 F150, the 5 liter. We're changing this in-tank fuel pump, but I've run into some snafus. There's the Delphi part number if you're interested. I prefer Delphi pumps over Standard Motor products. I managed to get the front bolt out with a spiral easy out, but the back one is spinning. So the cage nut is turning in the frame up here, up in there. I got the lines disconnected, that's not a problem, but this cage nut is spinning in the frame. So we're gonna have to drill the head of the bolt off. Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest. Can't get in there with a torch because we got fuel vapor on the ground now. Hindsight, I should have left the lines connected until I loosened off all the bolts. You think it's rusty? Oh, somebody said, oh, it's got a Napa sticker on that fuel pump, so that must have been changed at one time. That's interesting.
Got it.
It wasn't any time recently. I managed to drill the head off that other bolt because the cage nut spun in the frame. So there's the piece of bolt that I drilled the head off of. There's the other existing bolt. So we got new bolts to put in there and new nuts. The straps are actually pretty solid still. And I've ratchet strapped the tank down to the transmission jack so it doesn't fall off. And we're going to leave it right on there. We're going to try to knock some of this rust loose, soak it down with penetrating fluid and let it sit for a few minutes. And try to avoid don't take the fuel line off until you release this, because there's less chance of a spark occurring, even if you try to use a brass punch or something. This is pretty rusty. So there's the fuel pump installed with a new lock ring, dielectric grease on the fuel line fittings and the vent line fitting. A little bit around the seal surfaces of the connectors. Blow the connectors out, make sure there's no sand in them, make sure there's no corroded pins. I managed to change those pal nuts, or those clips in the frame there. And I got new bolts. So we're ready to lift it up. Put a little lubricant on the inside of the filler spout. And we're ready to lift it up. So reconnect the fuel lines and lock them in place. The vent is locked in place. Make sure the cup connectors are plugged back in. It was beneficial that he had no tailpipe, so I was able to climb up here. Otherwise, I probably would have had to undo the back of the drive shaft to get some room to get up there. And can't see up there. Don't forget to put the tank shield on as you're putting the straps in place. And then we're ready. We're going to do a fuel trim relearn and a keep alive memory relearn to reset the alcohol content. So I got the scanner hooked up to the vehicle. This vehicle's actually running rich because it's miscalculating the ethanol content. We're going to have a look at the ethanol content, inferred ethanol content. It's based on fuel trims. Fuel system fault, fuel trim 02 cents. I'm not sure which data list it's in. It's probably in the fuel trim data list. Last time I worked on this thing when I did the lead frame in the transmission, it was at 84% or 85%. Let's see, fuel. I'll look around in here and see if I can find it. Snap-on, we need a keyword search. You would think it would be in the fuel trim data list, but I don't see it. Okay, let's back out. Let's go into the engine data list. What happens is because the fuel pressure is low, it runs lean on a startup and it miscalculates the inferred alcohol content there. It's at 76%. I know this vehicle isn't running ethanol because we can't even buy it here in Thunder Bay in Northern Ontario. The closest place is, I think, Two Harbors in Minnesota. So we're going to do a keep alive memory reset. It's under functional tests, special functions, reset keep alive memory. That should force it to recalculate the fuel trims. So I'm going to start the vehicle and we're going to run it for a while. I'm having a difficulty. It's not doing a relearn, and I've got current fault codes for the bank 1 and bank 2 forward oxygen sensors pegged rich, and it's sitting at negative 30% fuel trims on both banks short term. And now this is P1639 code is an odd code too, so I'm going to try disconnect the vehicle battery for several minutes. So I disconnected the battery for several minutes, and I've gone in and looked at data again, and the inferred flex fuel is still at 76%. And I think now that that's forcing it to run rich, because as soon as I started it before it went into open loop fault, and there were bank 1 and bank 2 oxygen sensor faults. I know it worked before when I did this. Functional tests, output controls. Let's see if we can see a fuel trim reset. No, there's no fuel trim reset. Special functions. Misfire test, relative compression test, keep alive memory. We'll try it one more time. This time we'll cycle the key off after doing the relearn. Turn the key off. Turn the key back on. Let's have a look at the forward oxygen sensors when we start it up. I've also never seen that memory code open loop. Okay, go ahead and start it. Well, we're going to let it run for a while and see what happens. Well, it's gone into closed loop. The short-term fuel trim, where's short-term fuel trim? Sitting at negative 28%. Let's see if it comes down. I don't know why it's not relearning the flex fuel ratio. Maybe we have to go fill the tank to fool it into thinking we have a refueling event. They're coming down, negative 22, negative 21. Let's let it run for a while and see what happens. Well, the fuel trim is coming down to negative 9 and negative 10, and it's going in the right direction. So I'm going to look at if it has started a relearn event. Engine management data. I don't know why they wouldn't have the inferred flex fuel in the fuel trim data. but it's not. Well, that's better. It's 28. And I'm sure that it's going to do a relearn. It's coming down. So the problem with the system is with low fuel pressure, and it doesn't know it's low fuel pressure because they did away with the fuel pressure sensor. After a refueling event indicated by a change in the fuel level, the computer more closely watches the forward oxygen sensors for lean conditions that would be caused by addition of alcohol. And the air fuel ratio sensors, if they report lean, it calculates then in the inferred alcohol content, and it compensates for the low fuel pressure. This thing, fuel pressure was about 15 pounds lower than it's supposed to be, if you watch the previous video. And it mislearns the alcohol content. And then when you go to start it cold, it thinks it's running 75 to 80% ethanol, and it requires more fuel, but it's not ethanol, it's regular gasoline, so it's overfueling and it runs rich and blows black smoke when it's not fashionable. So the inferred flex fuel is down to 20% and it's coming down. So it's doing a relearn. Let's see if there's any codes. I mean, one of these fuel system status says closed loop. If there was a code, it would say open loop fault in most cases. So we'll look at codes one more time. I don't understand why we had that keep alive memory code, but I'm not going to lose any sleep of it. This one here, vehicle ID block corrupted, not programmed, 1639. Invalid data received from the body BCM. That's because I disconnected the battery. We'll do a network code clear. Turn it off. Back on, but not running. So we'll do a network code clear and clear all codes out of all the computers. Disconnecting the battery often generates fault codes in the BCM for battery power recently lost. "19 controllers, all cleared. Good to go." Switch the key off. And we'll call this one fixed. Thanks for watching.